Okay, perfect. So I'm really thankful that you guys are all on this call tonight. I love seeing all the little squares, and as they pop in, it's just cool because it means that you guys are spending time and taking time out of your family, out of your business, your power hour, and taking time to invest in your business, but to hear what I have to say and hear my tips and tools, as well as be on the team and be engaged. This is a huge part of it, and this is when you continue to feel connected and part of something versus doing this by yourself. So I'm really proud of you for getting on the call and joining us tonight. It means a lot. So going into that, I hope that you listened to the video I posted on Monday. If you haven't, I highly recommend that you go back and listen to it. It's in the team page. It's just a video that I posted sharing kind of what's been going on in my month and kind of where I'm at, and just shedding some light that it's not all rainbows and butterflies, even when you're 2.5 years in and 5-star qualifying and Success Club. Like when you've accomplished what I've accomplished, it doesn't still come easy. You still have to work for it. So I shared, kind of what's been going on in my business the last 3-4 weeks, and things that I've missed out on and not caught in my own business centers, and missed rank advancements because of it, or missed, I've had 2 returns for 6. So I started the month negative with Success Club, and pretty much this has been my worst month as far as my productivity and challenge packs and coaches that I've had in my entire Beachbody career. So it's pretty funny that I'm 5-star qualifying, but all that other stuff has been the worst. And so it's been very humbling, to say the least, to just kind of bring me back to what matters and why I got started in this. So I'm just going to go through a few things that have helped me, some announcements and things like that. So I'm going to start first off on top of the call and video that I posted on Monday. I hope you guys listened to Scotty Hobbs' call from the previous National Wake Up Call, which was last week, and it was, being afraid of failing and failure and what that means. And he gave some awesome points as to why, he gave the example of a grizzly bear, and how one day he was scared to go into the forest towards the grizzly bear, and how one day he was ready to attack it. And the biggest thing that stuck out to me, the 2 biggest ones, were he had a team. He had people that he was there with. He had people that he was in the trenches with on the second day. So he wasn't afraid to go for it. He wasn't afraid to dive into it because he had a team. And that's why being on these calls and being engaged in the team group and being on a fall classic and having a success partner and getting on the National Wake Up Call and going to Super Saturday and going to events is also important for your business, because it helps you feel connected in a business that you could really feel isolated in. So making sure you're being engaged and being part of the team, because that's going to help. You're going to be able to go on and take on that fear, because you're going to have a team behind you. And the second thing is being prepared. And that's kind of the basis of this call tonight, is being prepared and having tools in your pocket to use when you're scared you're going to fail, or to use to prevent you to fail. And as I look back at my month, I was pretty much being a failure. I was failing at what I was doing, and I was doing my best to encourage you guys and to tell you guys what to do, because I know that stuff works, but it was my lack of not doing it that got me to where I was. So I'm going to share with you guys and equip you guys with some tools moving forward for the end of the year that I hope you might not use all of them, but I hope you can use 1 or 2 of them to help you hit your Success Club goals, to help you hit the goal to help 3 people. And when I say help 3 people, it may not necessarily mean a challenge pack. Celebrate if you have someone purchase a base kit or a Shakeology sampler, because I'm sure they didn't just message you and say, hey, I'm ready to buy a base kit. I'm sure you still had to talk to them and build that relationship and build that trust and explain how this stuff has benefited you. So no matter what the outcome, you've done the steps, and you can't control the outcome. You just have to be proud that you put in the time and put in the steps to get there. So what I have done, I'm going to go over this first and foremost. So yesterday I was -2 for Success Club. This morning I was -2 still. My Miranda can vouch for that because we were on our diamond call and I was like, I'm still -2, just chilling here at -2. And right now I'm +4. So I had 6, and you guys, I started the month at -4. So I'm at 4, but I started at -4. So it's been climbing the trenches up here. And how I did that, and my family was here. My mom, my sister, my in-laws all flew in Wednesday night. So Wednesday night through yesterday, I was celebrating birthdays. I was out to eat. I was, napping. I was painting bedrooms. Like, it was a busy, busy week. But I just stuck to the Power of Threes. Because I filled this thing out religiously. I didn't miss a day. And I said it in that video on Monday. I told my family, I told my mom and my sister, like, this is my job. This is my business. This means a lot to me. There are certain things that I have to get done today. I don't need to spend 2 hours. I don't need to spend 3, but I need an hour. And I don't know wherever that hour is, whether it's late at night or whatever, I'm going to get this hour in. So that's what I did. I followed this. I made sure I was posting. I made sure I was adding to my network, even just 3. And for me, 3 is like my bare minimum. But I added my 3. I invited. I posted. And at night, like when we were sitting around watching TV, I pulled out my laptop and, my sister was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, if we're just going to watch TV, like I went through that Melissa Obsessed course and I did the first 3 days on Friday night while we were watching a show. And, I did that because this is my business. This is my job. And I'm very blessed. And if you're on this call and, you are a stay-at-home mom or you have been able to leave your job, it's pretty sweet that you can have people come visit you. And I didn't have to call into work on Friday. I didn't have to take a day off for Friday, Monday, or Tuesday to go into work. And I still hit all my goals. Like, that's pretty cool. So I stuck to my powers of 3s. So if you're struggling, if you're frustrated, if you're going, what am I doing? You have to be doing your power of 3s. If you're not adding to your network, if you're not inviting, if you're not posting, it's going to be really hard to connect to people and to get them plugged into a challenge group and to build that trust. So make sure you're doing your power of 3s. Okay. Now, enough off my soapbox with that. Number 2, what I did was I tried to figure out, what are people going to want? It's a holiday. Not very many people right now are going to commit to a 21-day program. It's going to be kind of tough, but they will commit to a 3-day refresh. They will commit to, yeah, you know what? I might need that after Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to need that after Thanksgiving. So I have been talking about the 3-day refresh on my page, and I've been sending an email. I sent 2 emails to my customer list, and if you're my personally sponsored coach, you probably got the email. So copy, paste, use it, because I got that from Meg, and she shared that with us. So use that. The verb. If you didn't get the email and you want it, I'll post it in the team page. But I just explained to them that I was doing a 3-day detox the day after Thanksgiving, and my husband's going to do it, and my in-laws are going to do it. And we're doing this together. And I worded it that I needed 3 people to do this 3-day detox with me for testimonials. And I had 9 people respond back, which is, for me, a pretty good response when I'm sending it out to my customer list, because sometimes I don't get anything. So I was super pumped, and I had 2 people commit and purchase the base kit. And they were, for me at that point, I was ready to have some volume in my business. So I was like, whatever, we'll go with it. But then I did also offer the challenge pack. And I said, the challenge pack is is $160. Here's the details. And I'll send you the conversation. But focus on the 3-day refresh. If you're struggling with the 21-day fix, then take time away from the 21-day fix. Take time away from sides. Focus on the 3-day refresh. And like I said, even if it's just getting them to buy that base kit, even if it's just plugging them in to see success in 3 days and to feel better in 3 days and try Shakeology in those 3 days, that they could come back and say, how do I get more of this Shakeology? Or I really love this program, I want to do it again. Or just building that customer base. So think about the refresh. Send an email to your customer list. I highly recommend. Now, what I would do is use MailChimp or Constant Contact. You can send it from your Beachbody email if you want to. if that's easiest for you, but send it, make sure you do the BCC, so that way everyone's emails are blind copied so they don't see that you sent it to your customer list. MailChimp is free. It's a free service. You can copy and paste. You can upload from Excel, so it's pretty user friendly. But that's a great way to get some volume, get some conversations going, and get things moving. And you can, I'll share my post into the team page so that you guys can see it. See what I did on Facebook as well. So 3-day refresh, customer email, posting it, and then I also did an incentive, and Miranda also did this, and she had an awesome response to her challenge group post with this, but I posted a picture of me, and I had my P90X, P90X2, I have a TurboFire program, and then 2 other programs that's full, and I stacked them all up, and I stood next to them, and I took a picture, and I explained what was going on, and I said the first 5 people who commit to a challenge pack get this free program. And so I sent out 2 of those today because they committed to a challenge pack because of that post. Or maybe it was someone who said they were going to buy, and then they saw that post and that made them buy now instead of at the end of the month. So if you have programs lying around, if you have 21-day fix containers, if you have Fix8 cookbooks, if you have shaker cups, if you have extra Shakeology, bundle it. So like the first 2 people who commit to a challenge pack by Friday get this gift. And I always say, like, you get this free. This is my gift to you for investing in your health during a busy holiday season. Because it's really hard for people to do that. It's not easy for people to commit to their health or to spend money on themselves during the holiday season. So if they can, and I worded it, and Miranda worded it really well, like, maybe it's a gift for a friend, maybe it's a gift for a spouse, maybe it's a gift for a family or a friend, or maybe, 2 of you go into this challenge pack together and one gets one program and the other gets the other. But think about different ways that you can word that so that it feels like they're, one, getting something for investing in themselves, but they can also pay it forward. So that has worked really, really well for me in the last 8 days, is focusing on the refresh. Any questions about that? Has anyone else tried the refresh or talking about the refresh? I know Alyssa just did it. So she might have, and her first results from July are phenomenal. If you need a testimonial for the refresh, I'm just telling you that she will let you share it. So I have before and afters that are really good that you can use too if you need to show that this program works if you've never done it yourself.
I went for mine because in July my purpose was jumpstart, get myself on track. Like, it was what a lot of people are going into, like the Thanksgiving mindset. And then I needed a different testimonial because I think that's not, we want to market a bigger group. So I focused this time on, I don't care about the weight loss. I'm already at near my target weight. So I capitalize on the other benefits of, the water, the bloat, and all of that extra stuff. And I actually sold 2 Kickstart challenge packs within 2 days because of, they already knew that I've been plugging about 21-day fix, but then I posted my 3-day refresh results with it being not necessarily, I want to lose a bunch of weight, but hey, these are the other things that it can do for you. And that, I didn't even have to they wanted 3-day refresh. They wanted 21-day fix. It worked. So that was helpful for me. I don't know if that would be beneficial for anybody else.
And I'm glad you brought that up because 2 of the 3 challenge packs today were Kickstarts. So that, what that means is they're getting 2 programs and Shakeology for $180, I think it is this month. And, if you, most likely if they're talking to you about the 3-day refresh, they're talking, maybe all 3 of them were Kickstart. I think all 3 of them today were Kickstart. Because if they're going to spend $160, just say like, hey, did you know you can get the full program for 21-day fix for just $20 more than? It's called our Kickstart package. And that's what I said in the email too. Like, join the 3-day refresh. This is going to be a great way for you to jumpstart your next 21 days before Christmas. They have plenty of time. So it's all about your wording and setting them up for success and sharing with what they're getting. So any other questions about that? Is this something, who thinks that they want to try this? Who thinks that this is something that they could do for their business to help? Okay. And I suggest, if you've never done the refresh, to order one yourself and to do it post-Thanksgiving. Because December, January, and February are amazing, amazing times that people want to get rid of that bloating, icky feeling from Christmas parties, New Year's parties, and then companies that do Christmas and New Year's parties all the way into January, and then you have Super Bowl, and then you have Valentine's Day, like all within like a 7-week period. So it's an awesome, awesome program for you to have and to try if you haven't tried yet. Also with that, if you've not enrolled your spouse as a coach and you're one coach away from Emerald, then enrolling with the 3-day refresh challenge pack gets you the, that's a great tool to have. To always have it on there, and that will do so much for your business moving forward. Because if you're not Emerald and we're going into this launch in December, and if you're setting yourself up for Hammer and Chisel, what we're talking about next, you want to make sure you're Emerald when we go into this launch, because your cycle bonus is going to be very, very tangible. It's going, or not tangible, it's going to be bigger, because there's going to be a lot of volume throughout the team. So any questions? I posted my Facebook post in the team page, and then I will see if I can get an email. Like I'll do my whole email, like what I initially sent, their response, what I sent back, and how that whole process went, so you guys can see how I said it and how I worded it to get those kickstarts going. So the next thing I want to talk about, we'll just go right into the Hammer and Chisel. Oh, before we go on to that, the other thing that the refresh will do is, if you are a coach who has inactive coaches underneath you, doing the refresh and hosting a challenge group and then personally inviting them is a great way to get them active, to get them into a group, to get them plugged in and back into seeing results with the program that, with Shakeology and with you, that got them to be a coach. So sometimes it's, those inactive coaches just kind of lose touch, and they just forget why they got started and forget why they wanted to be a discount coach, or maybe, they're just feeling down on themselves. Think of them as a really preferred challenger, and invite them first. Send them a personal message and say, hey, I'm running this group. I'm opening it up. I would love to have you in it, and say something personal that you might not know is going on in their life, but see if, that's something that they can, invest in, get them active, get them back into the groove of Beachbody and back on board. So keep that in mind too, if you have inactive coaches. Okay, so going into Hammer and Chisel. It's releasing in December. I've heard December 1st, but I will tell you right now, don't tell your customers a specific date. Because if you say December 1st and it doesn't come out, and it's not available at 8 a.m. on December 1st, it's like, oh, you guys said it was December 1st and it's 8 a.m. And then, well, that's Eastern time and they're on Pacific time. So just don't say a date, don't say a time. Just tell them, get an email list of people who are interested, and you'll inform them when you know that it's ready for order. So as soon as you know that it's ready for order, then you can send out an email. But what are you doing to make this launch good and to work for your business? If you're not doing the sneak peeks, I highly recommend you spend the next 2 weeks and at least do them 3 or 4 times. So that way you're recording yourself and posting the videos. You know what to say to people when they ask what the program's like. Or, you need to know, and Beachbody is giving you an awesome opportunity to get a good feel for this program. So make sure you're doing the sneak peeks. Make sure you're up there, or you're in there and you're doing them. Now, there's a few things you can do. If you're not comfortable running an event, don't run an event, but I highly recommend, like Lisa said, to try that out, especially for this launch. Run a short 5-day group using Beachbody On Demand. Free trial. I think a 7-day workout, 7 days that I have, or 5, whatever you want to do, and pick some workouts from Autumn and the sneak peeks from 21 Day Fix and Body Beast and Hammer and Chisel. And you can make a workout for the whole week of using that and get people plugged into Beachbody On Demand and get them used to seeing those trainers and doing those programs. And that way they have a taste of it. Like, this has never really happened before, that this available for people to try before it comes out. So make sure you're talking to people about Beachbody On Demand and the access that they have to Hammer and Chisel. So running a 5-day group, 7-day group, I have a 30-day group going on. We're into week 3 with it, and it's been really well, how people go ebb and flow, but they're engaged, whether in the group or with me one-on-one. So, and my event is public. So every single time I post in it and these people comment on it or they like it, it's showing up in their friends' news feeds. So it's not just those people in that group, it's everybody. It's my friends. They can see my event. They can see what I'm posting. They see my videos. They see people doing it and people interacting and people loving it. So that's one way you can do, is do your event, making sure you're doing the workouts, host an event or host a free group for 5-7 days, or, do it for the next 10 days if you want to. The other way that I'm going to start building this and working and getting my email list is, I posted in the team page today. I posted in my free core group that I just did. I posted in my Hammer and Chisel launch party. And each time I do a video post about Hammer Chisel or reference it, I have a Google form that I titled Hammer and Chisel launch details. And it's just for people to put their name and their email. And it keeps all these people who are interested in the Hammer and Chisel right away in one spot for me. So I'm going to keep this list building up until the launch. And what I did was, if I can find my paper, I looked at my calendar and I looked at when it could potentially release. So I did the first week of December, and I started today. And so tomorrow, I made this little list of Hammer Chisel, and this is based off the Melissa Obsessed stuff that I posted in the team page today. So I'm going to email and talk about the 30-day trial tomorrow and get people plugged in on that. So I'm going to email that to my customer list and make sure that they are plugged in on this list if they want Hammer Chisel. I'm going to email on Sunday a before and after and sharing results from the program. On Tuesday, I'm going to share my workout video to the people who subscribe to this list. And, the next time I'm going to share a meal that's 21 Day Fix approved. And then I'm going to do another before and after. And then I'm going to talk about the release date. And I'm going to talk about steps and pricing and groups that's coming up. And then the next one, my last one, will be, this is how you can invest. This is how you can get plugged into this group with steps to buy and things like that. So making sure it's not just here's this program, comment below if you want in, blah, blah, but having all those emails in one spot. And so you can update those people as you wish. I mean, you can do it one time, you can do it 2 times, or I'm going to try this and see how it works, just to share those people who are expressing interest right away on this email list with some information. So has anyone tried the workouts? Is anyone doing them?
I've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's hard because I don't have a bench or a ball, so I have to kind of lay on my bed in a weird, I'm afraid to do it too often because I don't want to risk my form being off. I'm not.
So you can maybe do the leg stuff then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
the arms.
I love it. I want it as soon as it comes out.
I want it too. It's on my Christmas list.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Has anyone else done it?
Love it. I'm hooked. I've got 3 people that I'm getting it for Christmas gifts for that.
Well, and me, Alyssa, and Elizabeth tried, what was it? Hammer and Chisel, just cardio. And it was 15 minutes. And we were and this was at Super Sunday. And we're oh, 15 minutes. Oh my God, I was dying. It was so hard. It was so hard because it was all legs. I'm like, this is not cardio. This is legs.
Like
Well, I
that.
haven't tried it yet, but I was curious what you were talking about the emails. Are you talking about sending an email out every other day? Is that what?
Leading up to the launch for people who are interested in hammer and chisel. And that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So
That's what I was trying to figure out. Every other day.
yeah, it's like every 3 days, every 2 or 3 days to start. And then towards the end, it'll get closer. But making sure you're building that specific list. So you don't want to send that to people who are not wanting hammer and chisel. Like you don't want to flood their inbox with hammer and chisel stuff. So, I sent out an email list or a last call refresh to my customer list. So watch out for that email. You probably have it in your inbox right now. That's last call. And at the bottom, I said, P.S. Hammer and Chisel is being released in December. If you want to stay up to date on launch details, fill out this form. And so this form will go into my Google Drive, and all I have to do, are you guys familiar with Google Form? Yes, no? Okay, so let me share my screen and I'll show you. I think. Okay, tell me when you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, okay. So here is my form. Wait, let me backtrack. So you'll go up to this little quadrant of squares and you'll click more and then even more. And then you'll scroll down to forms. And you'll click forms. And then you can create this form. So you can click here and this is going to be the title. And then you can do your question and you can change it to text, paragraph, whatever you need. Make it a required question and just push done. And then you can add another question. And then you can go to change. So you can add as many questions as you want. I just did name, email, and then I asked them if they have done 21-day fix extreme, or body beast before, just because I want some knowledge. Like if they've done those programs, great. If they haven't, I'm going to email them and just say like, hey, I really wouldn't recommend doing hammer and chisel right off the bat. What's your fitness like? And just get to know them a little bit before I start sending them all these emails. So then you can go to change theme. And I just learned this today. I've always used like all these little ones right here because you can change them. Like they're cute. I mean, they're fine. But you can go to, where'd it go? You can go to customize. I'm missing that. Customize right here. And so you can change your header image and choose whatever image that you want. So they have like some, stock, or you can go to your drive, or you can go to upload and upload like a personal photo. So you can change your title and make it whatever color you want, change your background color, so you can make it very you, which I just realized today. So that's how you're going to create the form. Then you're going to go push send form, and it'll give you a link to share, and you're just going to push the short URL, and it'll give you control copy. So that's your link for your form. So then what you'll do is once you create your form, now see where it says hammer and chisel launch updates responses. So once someone fills this form out, Google is going to put them automatically into the spreadsheet for me. So now all of these people are people who are interested in hammer and chisel, and they're in one spot. So now all I have to do is I'll copy this, and then I'll go into, I don't think it's open, MailChimp, and I'll log in. And it may or may not let me do this. I have to update my account. So I'll go to list and create list. Create list. And why they join this, you are like whatever, save. And then you can add subscribers, import, copy and paste. And this is what I don't know if it'll. So I'll just do first name, save, email, next. So now they're imported. So there's my hammer and chisel list. So now, like, if I want to send an email, so this first email will be tomorrow. Well, this first email will be Sunday. And it'll go to all the people who want more information on hammer chisel. So all I'll do is create a campaign, and I'll create say like my Healthy Holidays refresh went out, and you just click a create campaign. All I'm going to show you is this. I would do a plain text, or you can do a regular so you can share photos. I'll just do this for, so this is what I want to show you. So you go to create campaign, and then I can choose my list. So I have a list for like my customer list. I have a list for people who've been showing interest in coaching. I have people who are inactive coaches, my monthly newsletter, customers and clients from my other business centers. And I'll just click on hammer and chisel, send the entire list, next. And then you'll just go through and then it takes you step by step on what you need to do. So that's how I'm going to build, that's how I'm going to use this hammer and chisel the last 2 weeks to get the hype up, to get, even, and again, like, even if people aren't buying challenge packs, like each program is 52 in volume, maybe more, maybe even 60. It could be more than that. So like, that's just volume and expect, and that's why I say, like, if you're Emerald, if you're not Emerald yet, I highly encourage you to learn what Team Cycle Bonus is and how you benefit from it when the team does well. It's not just about you. It's when your team does well and when you help more people. It doesn't have to be challenge packs. It can be anything because it's volume. You just want to help more people. So that's like what I want this for. Like for me, I'm not overly focused on challenge packs of hammer and chisel, but the base kits, and then there'll be a deluxe kit, and then there'll be like a super deluxe kit, so knowing all that and using that to your advantage for your business and to help more people. Does this make sense? Was that helpful? Yeah. And you can use like, and if you don't use MailChimp, then just use your personal email. Like you can probably create a list in Gmail, or you can create a form and then just copy and paste those emails into a blind copy email. So it doesn't have to be as elaborate as mine is right now, but you can build on it a little bit. So hopefully that was helpful. So that's hammer and chisel. Any questions about that? No. I have some chats down here. Hold on. Okay, good. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you about is, or not last, but one more thing, is modules. So have you guys all seen Meg's website with the modules? Has everyone been on there? Okay, if you haven't been on there, the link is in the team page. I'll see if I can find it. If somebody has it on hand, if you want to create a document and create like a link to Meg's modules, that would be helpful. If not, I can do it. But get plugged in there, because that's a site that even I'm going to use. Like there's, I think 13 modules, and within each module there's 5 to 6, 7, maybe even 8 videos. So it's going to look overwhelming, but the videos are very short, sweet, and to the point. And it's all about like placement for coaches, and what is Success Club, and how to hit Success Club, and how to build your network, and what is team volume, and what is PV, and how to run an event, how to use ads on your like page, how to attract people like you, how to build your niche. So everything we ever talk about is now in one spot. And the really cool part about it is that it's not just Meg talking. It's not just me. It's Meg, it's me, it's Melanie Mitro, it's Lindsay Matway, it's Jen Delvaux, it's Janelle Summers, it's all these amazing coaches and their trainings that they've done over the last year, all compiled into one spot. And here's another part I like about it. It's going to take you in the order that you need to be in to grow your business. So if you haven't done module 1, video 1, don't go to module 4 and listen to video 2. Because they're going to talk about things that probably won't make sense because you've skipped all the other modules. So I highly recommend getting in that site. If you're a brand new coach, definitely hop in there. If you've been a coach for a year, get your booty in there. If you've been a coach for 18 months, 2 years, get in there and get yourself acquainted with that, because that will only help your business, and you'll be able to help your coaches and explain the module system and what they can learn on that website better. My goal this week is to come up with a 10 to 15 day, depending on how many modules we suggest to do, so that you have something tangible to hand your new coaches in a PDF form or a step-by-step form saying, okay, here is a 13-day, how to get started right. And it's going to take you through, written outposts, but also now reference module 1, 2, 3, reference module 3, videos 1, 2, 3, 4, and things like that. So we can help you utilize a training system with the module system. So that's kind of where I'm hoping to go with that in the next week, so that we can start using both combined. And I was talking to Marina today, and it won't necessarily be in a group atmosphere. I want this to be something that can be completely self-led, because they can comment under the videos in the module. So if your coach is supposed to be doing certain modules and they have a question, you can go back and check to see if they have, or just tell them, let me know what questions you have from that module and I'll answer them. So any questions with that? Good. Okay, my last tip for you guys, and you're probably so sick of me saying this, but follow up. It's the 18th of the month, and if you've been doing your powers of threes, even this month, last month, July, August, get your list of no's. Get your list of no's. Get your list of people who never responded back to an initial challenge group invite. Get your list of people who told you no, right now is not the time, or I don't have money, or I'm just not sure. Or get the list of people who said, no, I'm going to go try Advocare. Get the list of people who said, no, I'm going to do this on my own. Whatever their objection was, you should have them on a list, and you should be following up. Even if that follow-up is, hey, how is Advocare going for you? Hey, I know you said you wanted to try this alone for a little while. How's it going? What are you doing? Have you stuck with your workouts? It doesn't have to be anything related to a challenge group, but making sure you're following up on that last conversation. The fortune is in the follow-up. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a challenge pack that moment or a program that moment, but it might be that catalyst for them to go, she didn't forget about me. Just because I didn't join her group, she didn't forget about me. She's checking in on me. She's there for me. And that's huge, especially during a holiday season. Those are those little deposits. So if you've done the new coach training, those are those little deposits. Those moments that they go, she didn't forget about me. Or if you see something cool that they did on their personal page, private message them. Hey, I know we haven't chatted in a while, but I just saw your son was the football star this weekend, or that's awesome. You must be so proud. Whatever. Just something to make them feel special in a time where we're all focusing on everybody else. Follow up. Not with the intention to get the sale, but with the intention to make that person feel valued, to feel more than a sale. Because I guarantee you there are a lot of other companies, and I've heard it, that just want the sale. And then they don't ever hear from that person again. And that's not what Beachbody is. That's not what we are. That's not what this team is. We, make them feel special. Whether they buy something from you all the time or they buy nothing from you. The fortune is in the follow-up. Because they could be the person that's going to buy something from you all the time. Because they're loyal to you. So follow up. My last thing I'm going to do, and because I'm feeling so just never give up. You guys know I get emotional. Never give up on this. Like I literally at the beginning of the month, I'm like, I'm -4. I have like 100 in my volume. I have 2 business centers and I had to buy something in my business center last week to make sure that I stayed where I needed to be because I didn't have it. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm failing at this right now. But I just stayed my course. I plugged in. I have a Tuesday call with my girls on Mike's team. And I told them that I didn't want to go to it. And then I was like, no, that's not going to do anything for me. I plugged myself in. I talked to them. I shared my frustration. I shared my struggle. I focused on my miracle morning. I shared my struggles with my husband. I said, Matt, this is where I'm at. This is why I'm frustrated. This is what I'm afraid of. I prayed about it. And I just prayed and prayed and prayed that God would just humble my heart. And I'm okay with whatever this month brings. And I'm okay with where he's led me. And I know that he's led me this far. And so he's not going to leave me now. And God has led you this far. He's got you on this call. He's got you this far into coaching, whether you're seeing amazing success in numbers, in finances, or if you've seen amazing personal growth, he's brought you this far and he's not just going to leave you here. So never give up. And in The Power of I Am, if you haven't read that book, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get that book. Stop whatever you're reading right now and get The Power of I Am by Joel Osteen. This book has changed my complete outlook. This book has changed my complete business and my focus and who I want on my team and who I want as challengers. It's changed how I view myself as a wife and as a mom. And I think every single day I get a message from somebody, whether a coach, a challenger, or someone just watching my page. Thank you for posting about The Power of I Am today, because I started reading that book and it's really changing my life. Like, the power of this book is just insane. So if you need an Audible, get the Audible of it. But it just has done so much for me the last month that I'm going to read it again because it's that good. So never give up. It's a hard, hard month. Next month might be harder for you. October was hard. You might wanting to be diamond or wanting to be emerald and you're doing all you can. Like the best feeling that you can have for yourself is to know that you didn't hit a goal, not because you didn't try, but because it just wasn't the time to do it. But if you can give it your all and you can wake up that day and say, I didn't hit my goal, but I know I did everything I possibly could. I know I showed up for every power hour. I know I posted 2 or 3 times a day. I know I did my workout. I know I drank my Shakeology. I know I got plugged in. And I know that I didn't sneak off into a little hole and, remove yourself, because it's really easy to do that when things get really tough. It's really easy to just kind of walk away and be like, nobody will see me. It's okay. But that's when you need to plug in. That's when you need to dive into personal development. This is when you need to plug into these team calls and message me and say, hey, I need a one-on-one. And I'll send you my link and we'll get a time call scheduled. And that's when you need to plug in. That's when you need to reach out. So wherever you are, however far away you are from your goals or however close you are to your goals, just keep going forward. If you're close and it's super hard right now, there's probably the devil just loves to see us fail. And when you get so close, because I'm at what I wanted to be for the year, but I was -2 and I was having to put money into my business, into my own volume to make sure that I was staying active in my business centers because I need a certain amount of volume each week. You want to see the devil at work and trying to tell me that I can't do this and I can't do this. And I just stayed the course. I just stayed focused on who I know is right and what I know to do. And I have almost 1,000 volume in my business center this week. Nothing from me. But I just stayed focused, and I knew where this was going, and I knew that it would all work out. But I just had to get over that hurdle. I just had to get over that little voice saying, I had to choose my family or my business this weekend. And I know that if I would have chose my business, I wouldn't be able to be here today and be successful. But because I did choose my family, and because I did choose to honor my time, God blessed me for it. So if things are really tough, if things are really like, I haven't sold a challenge pack or I'm getting a ton of no's, stay focused, stay strong, stay driven, know your purpose, know your worth, and keep going for what you know is what you want and what God has put on your heart. Because I guarantee you that blessing is coming. And so just stay focused and just stay true to you and what you need to do. Okay? If I learned anything the last 3 weeks, like, it's been that. Because I couldn't be where I'm sitting at today if I would have just been like, I have no idea. I'm just done. Like, the last 2 weeks have just opened my eyes to a lot. So never give up and just keep going forward. You guys have any questions about anything? Refresh, hammer chisel, modules, just anything? Any struggles? It's Wednesday, getting towards the end of the month. Anything? No? Okay. Well, you guys have a good night, and I will try and get the recording up tomorrow, if not tonight. But thanks for hopping on. It was good to talk to you and good to see your faces. So have a great week, and we will not have a call next week due to the holiday. So spend time with your families. Spend time by yourself if you're by yourself or traveling or whatever. Just soak up the night and do something for you, okay? All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.